Hi guys, good morning. I hope you're able to hear me. My cluster is also available. So in the last session, we have seen how we can apply the filters with the numbers and how we can apply filter with the date if you wanted to apply. That we came across it. And data filtering and selecting of the columns that we have seen. Now I wanted to take you through how we can do data aggregation. So data aggregation, how we can do it. Let's say, for example, if it is a SQL server, okay. So if I wanted to aggregate data like department number, comma, sum of salary as salary, and when you have this, then we need to write a group by department number. Now if I execute this, we're getting the data based on the department. The same thing that I wanted to do with the database. So same file, you can use it to read the data. So what I'm trying to do here is, let's take a task 20, create RDD by reading data from the employee.txt, that is fine, and take out the header, that is also fine. Apply aggregation, or we can say single grouping and single aggregation. The same select statement, I'm just going to bring it here. Let's set here. Okay, so this is how it is going to get it. Let's take out this. Okay, so this is required. And since we are taking aggregation, so we can say here, third point, get only required columns as per fourth step. Okay, so here I required only department number and salary. These two columns only I required, so I can take only these two columns. Okay, so this is done, and filtering also I'm just going to do. Up to here it is very much similar because you have to take out the header. Let's keep this. I wanted to say rdd3.collect. Let's execute it. Now you're having the data is like this. I wanted to take only required column. I need department number, last column is required, and this column is required. So if that is the case, then we can say rdd4 equals to rdd3.map lambda x colon bracket open x of -1 is required. That is going to say about your department number, and x of you can say -1, -2, -3 also we can say. So whatever you feel easy that you can take it. I'm just taking negative index. Now I can have a department number as well as the salary. I wanted to change the data type for this, and I wanted to change the data type for this. So here I'm just going to say int, and open a bracket and close a bracket. And here I'm going to say float. Let me re-execute it. You can see the data as expected. The required columns are there. Up to here we can press it. First we have taken the header, we split the data, and we have taken required columns, required data. Now, what you have to do is, you have to go for applying aggregation. In order to do the aggregation, you can use the function called reduce by key. Okay, we can use the function called reduce by key. I wanted to say something about this. Reduce by key. It is used to apply group by and aggregation. So both it is going to be done, and we already said, if you remember, we have come across this reduce by key. Required columns as per the fourth step in the form of key value pair. So this is having a key and this is a value. So key value pair we are having in this particular case. Now I'm going to apply aggregation by using this data. This is x of 0, x of 1, we can say. Now in order to apply the data aggregation, you have to go for give a moment, guys. So what we can do here is already 5 equals to already 4 dot reduce by key. Lambda x comma y colon x plus y. So here what is the key? The key is department number. Reduce by key applies the group in this particular behind the scene. I explained when at the time of word count, I explained about it. How we can do it. That I explained at the time of word count program. Okay, so in the same way here also it is going to be there. We can do lambda x comma y x plus y reduce by dot collect. Okay, so just go through that function. If you wanted to go through that, you can just go through the last time when I explained. That will be helpful. Okay, so just go through that. I explained clearly how it is going to be group the data. First it is going to group, and then it will go for the aggregation. So it's an internal mechanism. First it will take 800 will go here, then 1600. But for 20th, whatever it is there for 20, that is going to be taken. Okay, so if you want to explain that, I can explain. Something like this. So all 10s at one place, I'm just going to keep. Let's cut this. Maybe you might trigger it. So last time we discussed the same thing. All the department number 10s at one place, 20s at one place. Like this, it is going to have it. Like this, it is going to have. Right? So first it will take, this is the key. Okay, so what happens is once you apply internally for your But I can say. So when you apply reduce by k, what happens is the output is going to get something like this. Ten comma like 1300, right? Yeah. Something like this it is going to get. For depart number 10. So reduce by key is going to group the data like this. Okay, so it's an internal method. You don't need to worry about it. So when it is applying summarization, it will take first this value. This will go to x comma y colon x plus y, right? So first 1300 will go to x, next 5000 will go to y, and then result is going to get some result. So that result will be assigned to x again, will go to x, and this 1250 will come to the y, and again it is going to say result plus your y value. So like this it is going to work. Okay. Guys, give me 1 minute. I'll be back. Yeah, I'm back. So the same way for this one also is going to apply the same thing. Okay, the output. Let me keep. This time it is a 20. Then take 800. 3000, comma 3000. like this you are going to get. So when it is aggregated, okay, so it's the same for this also. Now let's go back to here. I wanted to apply aggregation and the result is going to store here. I wanted to see what is there inside this RDD file. Now you can see the result is getting like this. So what is the total value for the department number 20? You can see 10875. You can see 10875 for 39 9,400 for 10,7550 for 10,7550. 30 is 9,400 and for 80 is 2,000. That's all. So it's a perfectly matching. Only thing is here we have a column names, but in the RDD we don't have a column. How we can get a column names for this? We'll talk about it later. Okay, so the result of this, if you wanted to store somewhere else, you can store it. It's up to you. Okay, so I'll tell you how we can store the data. Okay, so there is a function called, I wanted to say, RDD dot. Here also it is a RDD dot. Save as text file. You can provide the path of the file. So if you wanted to store this data, then you can say RDD dot, that is RDD file dot save as text file. You can pass the path of the file. File store ADA02 / target / employee underscore AGGR1. In that particular folder, I wanted to create it. So before executing this again, I wanted to show you about this catalog. You just go here in the file store, AD02. Under AD02, I don't have a target folder. So target folder is going to be created. Under that, you are going to have an employee underscore AGGR1. Let's execute it. Now, if you go and see the data here, catalog, DBFS, file store, AD02, target. The target, employee one dot. Here you have a file called part file. So part file is going to have the data. So if you wanted to see the list, db start fs.ls. Let's execute it. Let's double quote is missed. Now you can have a file name. Two file names are there. One is part -000 and 0001. So if you wanted to see what is there inside this, file, and I'm just going to take this entire part. I'm going to use db-utils.fs.head command. If you wanted to read the data, you can pass the file name. Now you can see department number 20 details is there, 30 details is there, 10 details are there, 80 details is there. But what is there inside this one? It's just empty. Okay, so you can reduce the number of partitions. Basically, if you see, if you wanted to see how many number of partitions are there here, what you can say, get num partitions. We already know it. How we can get it? What are the number of partitions are there? You can see 2 partitions are there. I don't need to go for 2 partitions. You can go for 1 partition. We already know we can use the coalesce function. Call SC Let's see. I wanted to go for one partition to store this data, and then you can re-execute this. Okay, let's try. Okay, it's already exists. It is saying I'll do one thing. I'm just going to remove this RM. Let's say comma true. Now it is. So re-execute this. Now if you see the data from here, if you see the ls command, you can have only one file. Two files are there. .glue .collect. Okay. Coalesce basically can increase the number of partitions. That is what we have seen somewhere, right? Spelling is correct or not? It is used to reduce the number of partitions. Okay, let's go for repartition. Not sure why it is getting. This empty partition also is getting. The number of partitions are 2. Already 5 dot get num partitions. Two partitions only it is having. It is not reducing number of partitions. Okay, let's do one thing. I mean to say here we have to say already 6 equals to. That is correct. It's my bad. Now it will show. Okay. So what I wanted to do is we can go with the coalesce itself, but result I wanted to store in a already 6 equals to. Now if you see what is there inside this already 6, you can have only one partition. Now the entire data is there in a single partition. From already 6, I'm going to write the data into this file. And let me remove it. Since already it is existed, let's say true it is. Now re-execute this above statement. And I'm just going to say ls. Let's execute this. You can have only one file. Now I wanted to read the data from this particular file. Then we can say head command that's all. You can see the data here. Okay. So the save as text file is just to read, is just to write the data into the target from the RDD. We can use this save as text file. Even in the data frame also we have the same concept. Now this is for single aggregation. What about we have a single group by and multiple aggregations? Or let's go with first multiple multiple group bys and single aggregation. How you can do it? Like, let's say I wanted to take job also. Then add a job. So there is a chances to have this kind of calculations, right? Multi-grouping and single aggregation. So if you have a multi-grouping and single aggregation, how you can handle it, that I will take you through. The same query I wanted to do it. Let's take a copy and paste this. Let's say task 21. So create RDD by reading from here, applying filter, get only required columns as per this fourth step as a key value pair, that is also fine. And multi-grouping and single aggregation. Let me take this code. This is the one. Okay, so we already taken this note, so I'm just going to take out this. So up to here, it is very much similar. This particular place, up to this 3 steps, it is common here. Now I wanted to take RDD 3.collect. You can have the data. So we need to take only required columns as per this. So department number is required. So department number is there in the -1. Okay, so we can say index -1. RDD 4 equals to RDD 3 dot map lambda x colon. Just open a bracket. X of 0. Sorry, x of -1 is going to give a department. And then I required job. Job is there in a 0, 1, 2. In a second person, x of 2. And salary. Salary is there in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the fifth position, x of 5. Let's execute it. Let me say RDD 4.collect. These two are the key now, because we are applying group by what? Group by department number and job. Now the key will be treated, this entire thing should be treated as a key. And this is a value. So here you have to get the value as a key value pair. You have to get key comma value. So now key is having 2 columns. One is job, one is department number, another is job. So we can have a key columns like department number, comma, clerk, job. So this is 1, comma, value. Value is what? Salary. So this entire thing is going to be key value. So this is a key and this is a value. Okay, so in order to do this, what you have to do is you have to keep this inside the tuple, because this is one key. Both columns we are treating as a key. And then this is a value. So key value format, we have to get it. Let's re-execute this. Now you can see I have this. And I wanted to say here, let me convert this data type into integer data type. And then job is fine, and do for this also float. That's all. Let's re-execute it. Now you can see. Okay, so if we go with this reduce by key, let's see will it work or not. Okay, now this is a entire thing is key and this is a value. Okay, so whatever the way this is going to work, in the same way that is also going to work. Now what I'm trying to do is already 5 equals to already 4 dot reduce by key lambda x comma y colon x plus y. Now already 5 dot collect. So this is the result we are going to have. You can cross verify 30 salesmen, how much sales it is available. 30 salesmen, we have a 5600. 5600. And 10 manager, we have a 1250. You can say 10 manager or 1250. That is more enough for validation. Okay, I wanted to say how many partitions are there. Get num partitions. So 2 partitions are there. You can reduce them into 1 partition and you can write the data. It's up to you. If you want to write the data, you can write it. So let me do it. Let's say already 6 equals to already 1 dot colon. This time I'm going to use repartition. The repartition to 1. And if I say already 6 dot get num partition, partition or partitions, already 6 partition, I guess. What is this? Get num. Already has attribute. What is the problem here? Yeah, it's a partition. There was some typo. Okay, so when you use this get num partitions, it is going to show you 1 partition. Now, if you wanted to write this data, you can write this data to get num already 6 dot save as a text file. Then you can provide the path of the folder, file store, inside file store AD02, inside AD02 target, inside target employee underscore AGGR2. Okay, so like this you can do it. Let's execute it. Now, if you wanted to see what is there inside this, let's execute it. You can have the data. Okay. So this is multi-grouping and single aggregates. Now, there is one more situation. The situation is single grouping, multiple aggregations. Let me take this entire thing. (22). Same to same up to here, key value pair. And I'm just going to say single grouping and multi-aggregation. Like, just observe how we can do it in a SQL, then you can understand how exactly it is going to be there. So this is sum of salary, and in the same way, you will be having count also, right? In SQL, we talked about it, count star as a count and average AVG, salary as AVG salary, min of salary as min salary, max salary as max salary. Like this. If I execute this, it is going to get the data like this. The same thing I want to do it. Let's take a copy of this. This is for reference. How exactly it is going to be there. So after this part is very much simple. I'm just taking a copy and paste it here. I wanted to see what is there in RDD3 dot collect. Now we can have this data here. So I wanted to take only required columns. What columns are required? We require only department number as well as salary. So I'm just going to say RDD4 equals to RDD3 dot map lambda x colon. I required key value pair, right? So I required x of -1 comma x of 5 also. Now if I say RDD4 dot collect, the same to same. I wanted to change this data type to int. And here it is a float. So same to same the way we did for first one, and the same way it is having it. If we execute it, you can have this, okay? And what I wanted to do is, I wanted to get multiple aggregations. So in this particular case, you can write a custom function. You can create a custom function where we can get all these aggregations. But let's try, is there alternative option for this? RD5 equals to RD4 dot reduce by key lambda x comma y colon x plus y. No, it will not get. Okay. So I'll do one thing. You have to pass these values to other place. Okay, but before that I wanted to do this group by. After group by, then only I can do it. So in order to, when you have a multiple aggregation, it's recommended to have a RDD5 equals to RDD4 dot group by. Group by key. Now you are going to get these values like this. I have shown you, right? Behind the scene, it is going to group the data. So when you use the reduce by key, it is going to apply this thing behind the scene. Okay, so I wanted to read the data from here in this particular place. This is object, iterable object. Okay, so I wanted to say here it is used to apply grouping and it returns iterable object. So iterable object means collection of items you're going to have it. Now if I wanted to get this RDD5 dot map lambda. So this entire thing is x, right? X comma x. X comma x, I'm just going to say. I wanted to say dot collect. Same result. lambda x comma x. What is this? Not x comma x. Sorry, x colon x. The same result it is getting. But I wanted to convert this into list. First of all, I wanted to get this this part only. So then we can say x of 0. Let's execute it. Now I can say only this. If I say x of 1, then you'll be having only iterable object. So I wanted to get this as a key value pair. Then you have to say comma x of 1. So this thing should be there inside the braces. Now let's execute it. Now same result it is getting. Whatever I have seen directly here, the same thing it is getting. And I wanted to keep this in another RDD, that is RDD 6 equals to. I wanted to see what is there inside RDD 6 dot collect. Let's execute it. Now this is still not readable, but I can convert this into list data type. If you remember, at the time of Python, we have come across many times to use this list function to convert into list object. Now if you see, we are having this data. We are having this data. Okay. So if I wanted to get RDD 6 dot map lambda x colon x of 0 is going to get the department number. Sorry, this entire thing is going to get, this entire thing is a x of 0. Okay, no x of 1. X of 1 also giving same thing. RDD 6 dot map x of 0 of 1. That. Lambda x colon x. This is fine. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So I have a already 6 dot collect, right? Okay, the result is not stored here. Sorry. Already 7 equals to already 7 dot collect. Now you can see the 1. And if we have a 0, then you can have a 0. You can see. Okay, so if I say comma x of 1, you can keep this in the braces. Now just try. Same result it is going to get. Okay, so what I can do is sum of x of 1 network. Okay, sum is getting and comma ln of x of 1, but this thing should be there in a braces. Now let's execute it. You can have a length also. Okay, so because we don't have a count function, you have to use the ln function. Okay, you need to give carefully here. And we don't have an average, so we can say sum of x of 1 divided by ln of x of 1. Average is coming, and comma min of x of 1, comma max of x of 1. You can get all the aggregations. For 20th department, you can see in, let's take 20. 20, the total is 10875. Total employees 5. Average is 2175. Minimum salary is 800. Maximum salary is 3000. You can take any department. Okay, so that is how it is going to work. Okay, instead of writing this, you may get confusion. Okay, so there is a more chance. If you want to do this, you can do it with this function. This function is, we are applying this sum and length function on top of the list. These are all the list functions. Okay, so we are getting the list right. From the list, I'm trying to get the total. I'm trying to get the I'm trying to get the minimum value from the list of this. Okay, so there is an alternative way in order to do this. I'm just trying to comment this. Apart from this, we can create a custom function in order to deal with this. Now, if you see what is there inside this array 6, you can see here. Okay, this value, I wanted to create a one custom function. You can pass this value to the custom function. Okay, so I'm just going to take this entire thing. I'm going to take. Can I take like this? Yeah, let me take this value alone. So I wanted to create a function so that you can understand how we can call this function. So we have seen how we can create a custom function, if you remember, right? So you can do that approach, or you can also do this particular approach. Let's say list equals to, I wanted to say this. I want to define the function 1 colon. So this function 1 is going to take something inside this x, and I wanted to say lst equals to x, and variable sum equals to sum of lst, right? And variable count equals to ln of lst, and what else is required? Average VAVG. We don't have a direct function, so you have to use V sum divided by V count. That is V average, and V min equals to min of LST, and V max equals to max of LST. Then we have to return it, right? So when you write a function, you have to say return. Return, in the bracket you have to specify, because we have a multiple values, V sum, comma, V count, comma, V AVG, comma, V min, comma, V max. I'm just going to take out this just for reference. I have taken, and I'm just creating this function. I wanted to call this function. I need to check is function working or not. Then you can specify the list here. You can specify the list. I'm just going to call function of LST. Yes, execute it. Now it is returning what is the total value, how many items are there, how much average, how much minimum, how much maximum. All these details are given. But this is based on the department number. You have to take this entire thing. you have to take this entire thing. So when I take this, what happens here is this 20 also is going to come to here. This 20 also is going to come. Now, forget about this function. If I wanted to take only department number, we can say LST of 0, right? This is a department number. If I say 1, then it is going to have a list. So what you have to do here is, you have to say a VD number equals to x of 1, sorry, x of 0 is a V number. LST is x of 1. X of 1 is the list. Okay, so like this we have to do it. Now I need to get the department number also. I need to get the department number, VD number. So we need to have a key value pair. This entire thing should be there in the braces. Okay, let me re-execute this function. Now if you call this function by using this values, the function name is function1 and LST. Let's execute this. We are getting the same to same. Whatever the result we have seen previously, the same thing is going to get it here. So this function I'm going to call. Where you are going to call that function here, I'm just going to write RDD7 equals to RDD6 dot map lambda x colon open a brace x of 0. You have to take a department number. I guess I can directly go for function 1 of x. Let's try. Because department number also we are taking. Yep, this perfectly alright. Okay, so if you are not passing the department number to that particular place, then you can take. You don't need to pass the department number, but you can pass the department number because I wanted to pass all the thing. So you can have that. Okay, department number. This is calling this function by passing this x. What happens if I keep this x of 0? It's not required. You can directly say function itself. Okay, so previously whatever we have seen, the same thing is available. I'm just going to show you here. Let's make this uncommented, execute this. Whatever the result I'm having here. Let's make this comment, uncomment this. Let's cut this, execute. Just compare this result. It's the same to same. Okay. Is everyone following with me? Any question? Let me make yourself unmute. Any question guys as of now? Okay, so do practice, then you'll get more and more knowledge on this. So if you face more issues, then you can get more ideas. Okay, so I don't recommend you to go for this. You can do it if you wanted to do, but basically if you can create a function that you can understand even how we can create a function. So the result of this to where we can store, it's out of the boundary at this point of time. Otherwise, we can store into another place. Let's take this. I'm just going to say already 7 dot this, but partition I have to keep only one partition. Let's keep this. Already 7 and already 7 8 it is 8 already 7 dot repartition into one partition and already 8 dot save. Okay, so I'm just calling this function, getting result, and already 7 is getting only one partition, reducing number of partitions. Let me make this as a 3. That's all. Okay, so I'm stopping here, and tomorrow we are going to see multiple group bys, multiple applications. Okay. Okay then. If you are having any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll meet on tomorrow.
Yeah, hi Bhaskar.
Yep.
See, actually yesterday I got one info like, in a data factory, right? So mostly in real time, we are not going to use the data flow.
Exactly. The reason is cost.
Okay.
Apart from the cost, I feel because it is just baby only, it may take some time. Some companies only using, if they're interested, if they're not having the Databricks. If you have a Databricks, always recommended to do transformation with the Databricks.
Okay.
Because data flow, I feel the performance when I compare, because based on my experience, I'm saying Databricks is having vast performance when you compare with ADF. Of course, ADF also using same cluster only, Spark cluster only, but still there are some limitations. And doing transformation is much more easier in Databricks, I feel, even if it is coding. But there we are not going to write a code, and that supports only structured and semi-structured data, not unstructured data.
Okay.
Okay. So.
And also, like, I spoke with my friend, right? So he's also working in TSS with this ADF profile only, Azure. Okay. Even they are not using this RDD as well.
Of course, I told you starting of this.
Yes. You said since 4 years they are not using these legacies.
Yes, it's a legacy one. The only thing is recently one of the requirement there is So the requirement here is they wanted to take the latest file from each and every file, last updated date. So there are some files are there, but you have to get from each and every file the latest date. Okay, whatever the latest date is. If you wanted to do with the data factory, it's not possible. As per my knowledge, it is not possible. And when it comes to the data, database, we can do it easily with RDD. We can get only the latest files, whatever the dates we are having. If they're maintaining, the requirement is they're having all the history files. Out of all the history files from every category, they wanted to take a latest file, and those files they wanted to send it to the target path. So that is what the requirement for one of the person. So I suggested to do like this, or we can go with the SQL also. But SQL with the ADF is it will go mad, we can say. Okay, because if there is 100 files, 100 times you need to run the stored procedure to feed the data. So that's not the best practice. But if you have this, then you can easily do it. Maybe with Python also we can do. I'm not sure how we can do it Python. So I just gave the solution with RDD. If at all, if they have a Databricks, then they can write this, and these files we can give it in the source path. We have created, right, the CP command, SRC path and TRC path. If you have, then in the source path we are just going to give these files. Source directory concatenated with this file names. And target path as usual you can provide, and you can copy the files. You're getting my point? So it's all depends, but basically 90% is people are not using RDD. Okay. It's a legacy one. You can do this everything easily in a data frame. We are going to see very soon. Maybe after 3-4 days, we are going to start data frame.
Okay, data frame with
Data
Python?
frame, Python only. Data
Okay.
frame is a Databricks API. This is a low level API, and higher level API is data frame.
Okay.
On top of this, we can create we are not having a structure, right? We are not having the column names. We can get the column names by creating a data frame on top of this already.
Hmm.
Okay,
So
so
there we
here
can, if we want to derive any new fields, we can derive,
easily,
right?
very,
Okay.
very easily.
Whatever we are doing in transformations, the same thing we are going to achieve by Databricks. So
frame.
that's why we are not using the data flow.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Most of the
And
projects are using for transformation Databricks. For data ingestion only, people are using data flow and orchestration, automation, and all they are doing with Data Factory.
okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
And Bhaskar, still how many days are left to this?
It will go more 20 days.
Okay, okay.
Mostly, we'll target by end of this month or first week of next month.
First week of June.
Yeah, mostly by end of this month, we are going to finish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also my free subscription is going to be expired by 8th. Okay, so shall I take or I can practice in this community edition?
No, practice with community edition only first.
Okay, so once I'm done with this, then I can take a subscription.
You can take a subscription for 1 month, and then you can cancel if you don't use it, you will not get much more bill. Okay, so you can keep your subscription as it is. Or if you wanted to stop it, you can stop your subscription. They will not give a bill. 1 month subscription is required for you.
Okay.
Because
yeah, I already took a free subscription, right?
like if you have a 1 more free trial, that's fine for completing this entire course. And if not, if you are saying 8th, it is going to be completed, right?
Yes, yes.
So later 8th, if you have a 1 more free trial, then you can use that for your entire course. If you are not having free trial, then make that as a paid subscription. Mostly you may get 1,000 to 1,500 bill per month.
Okay, okay.
Once it is completed, you can stop your subscription.
Yeah. And every time when I'm using that Azure services, right? So it's showing like your remaining credit bill.
That is
Credits.
for free trial. For free trial only it will show.
Okay, so I think, but anyway, whatever that amount is left, but within a 1 month, it should be expired, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, got you, Bhaskar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else, guys? Any question?
I have one question.
Yeah, Veera.
So what are the functions that we are using here already? So more or less we are going to use in data frame. So after data frame, is there any additional topics that we need to cover in the Databricks or data frame is the last?
Yeah, basically how we are going to do transformation is either we can go with the RDD or you can go with the data frame. Okay, so this is very, very important for us because 90% of the companies are using data frame. RDD is only legacy applications they're using. Okay, so there may be some chances to help this RDD for us to frame the data frame sometimes. Okay, so that will be helpful as we are going through this. So once this is completed, your database mostly is completed, and we are going to talk about Spark SQL. After this, after data frame, we are going to say Spark SQL. As we are already talked about the SQL, and if I take max 2 sessions with this, then that is more enough for Spark SQL because it is similar to SQL only. Okay, so these two are the main, and Spark SQL is again, of course. So since we are already starting SQL and SQL Server, that is going to help us to reduce the time for Spark SQL. And once this is done, then we are going to start talking about the project. How we can integrate ADF, yes, ADF plus ADB.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then stopping here. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.